Good evening and welcome to Ask the Home Inspector here on Berks Community Television. I'm your host, Joe Kelly of Advanced Home Inspections, and I've been serving Berks County and surrounding communities for the past 17 years with well over 5,000 satisfied customers. I hope you enjoy the show. The show is underwritten by Keystone Ashey, the local chapter of the American Society of Home Inspectors. And over the course of the show, we hope to explain to you how a house works and what you need to do to keep it working, so far as maintenance and so forth. This is an audience participation show, so if you'd like to call in with a relevant question to our topic tonight, phone number is 610-378-0426. Our guests tonight are Kert and Cathy Sloan of Aluminum Associates. So Kert, Cathy, would like to tell us a little bit about yourselves and the company?
Good evening. I'm Kert Sloan from Aluminum Associates. I've owned the business since 1981. I've been a member of the Home Builders Association since 1981. I joined that the first year that I've owned the business. Mainly because I wanted to get in the Home Builders Show, which at that time was a tough deal to get into. It was at the Berkshire Mall, and
I was there many times.
And it took you you had a waiting list to get in. We just got lucky and we got into it that first year, and we were in it ever since. But anyway, we're a home improvement company. Our name is Aluminum Associates, but the name doesn't really tell you what we do. That was a name formed in '72 by Ken Lair, my previous employer. When I bought it from him in '81, I decided to keep the name because we had a long-standing clientele and they knew our name, and we didn't want to go into refabricating another name, rebranding, that type of thing. So we kept the name the same and just worked on educating the customer on what we do as we evolved into what we are now, a full-service remodeling company, such as windows, doors, kitchens, baths, decks, patio rooms, awnings, railings, that type of thing. Anything to do with the existing home is what we deal with.
I've seen your trucks around since forever. I moved in the area back in the early '80s, and I always noticed a bright yellow truck driving down the road with your logo on it.
That's the idea. I mean, we want people to see it. When you have a big cube truck, it is a billboard on wheels. Yes, we try to keep it clean. That's also an idea. You don't want a dirty truck running around, as well as our employees. We want them nice and clean and neat when they're out in the job. So yeah, we want them to see the trucks, and we built the whole business off the trucks.
Having done as many inspections here in Berks County as I have, I'm sure I've inspected quite a few of your additions or remodels over the years. And
how'd I do?
Well, I only point out obvious and latent defects, and it's not a pass or fail situation. So
okay.
Hey, that's like the end of the inspection question is like, would you buy this house? No.
You don't want to be part of that.
Let's just say we haven't found any defects and that have been specifically related back to you. Is that politically correct now?
Yeah, no bad news. So that's
no
good
bad news is good news.
Yeah, I like that.
So you were speaking about the Home Builders Association, and membership in a professional association is more than just a feather in your cap. It shows expertise and in your field. You're not only you are a past president.
2.5 times.
Okay, and I believe
I'll explain half if you want. I'll probably be the only one for a half.
Cathy's also been involved with national organizations and associations.
Yes. Yes, I have. I'm actually past president of our local HBA. I sit on the board at our state level. I also sit on the board at the national level. I'm involved in some of the committees nationally and statewide. I actually just got voted in as a vice president of the PWB on our state level, which is Professional Women in Business.
Congratulations.
So I am now involved in that on a state level that way, and then I sit on the trustees nationally. So that's new to me, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Great, congratulations. So it's springtime, we hope. It's a little chilly out tonight. It's going to come eventually. So what are some of the projects that you would suggest to the homeowners to spruce up the outside of their homes in spring?
Well, once they get outside and they start looking around, they're going to see some projects because the winter was rough this year.
Yes, it was.
So you might need gutters to be attended to, siding to be addressed, clean up around your existing products such as your awnings and your windows. Check your screens because you'll hopefully be opening up your house a little bit. Make sure all your doors are working properly, your closures on your storm doors, that type of thing. They're minor things to look at around your home. Check your roof. I don't do roofing, but get up there and check your roof because that's one of the most important parts of your home.
Yeah, preventative maintenance is always a big thing, and that's one of the main things that I find is a lack of preventative maintenance when I do home inspections, and it can really deteriorate.
Well, the biggest mistake I think
quickly.
customers make is some customers. I have some customers, every year they're doing a small project, so they're keeping up with the home.
Right.
Because if you let it go 3 to 5 years, you know yourself what the house will look like in 3 to 5 years. Mother Nature will take over.
Yes, she will. You can't win.
You can't. So rather than get yourself into a big expensive project in 3 to 5 years, pick small projects that you can afford. If you can do some of them yourself, fine, but when you need a professional, come out and look for a proper professional. Do it once, do it right, do it with somebody that'll stand behind it and will be able to let it be their problem, not your problem as a customer. If you're doing it yourself, it's your problem. If you're doing it with someone like me, it's my problem. And then
Right.
you always have myself in the back pocket.
Well, you offer quality workmanship, materials, and even guarantees, from what I understand.
Well, everybody has guarantees, but guarantees are only as good as the person that's putting it in.
True.
As far as I'm concerned. So if you don't trust the person that you're working with, that guarantee is null and void. The guarantees are generally from the factories. We give warranties as far as workmanship for a year, but we've gone beyond that because obviously we've been working for people for 34 years and things have gone wrong and we have to go out and correct it.
Well, you have to stand behind your customer base. It's always good business practice.
Well, we pride ourselves in being a mom and pop, and that's old school to me. My parents had mom and pop businesses. My grandparents had mom and pop businesses, so I've come from that, a long line of that. I kind of know how to handle customers and deal with them and keep them happy. And we have good repeat customers. We have long-standing customers, and they've become almost family to us.
Customer service is how you get repeat and long-term customers.
Absolutely.
So some of the other things that they might want to consider when they're looking around the outside of their house is, peeling paint, of course, and nobody likes getting out there and scraping paint and repainting. Aluminum capping is an option. And if during that cold, blustery winter that we had, you felt a draft around the window, there's and it's an old
weather stripping. You have storm windows if you can't afford a replacement window. Do the replacement windows that need it the most if you have to replace a window. An entry door, a storm door. Start looking at what is the worst product in your home and start weeding that out and do a little bit at a time. Stay on top of it every year and you can eventually get it done and without a lot out of pocket.
A little bit of time and a lot of out of pocket.
Without going to the bank and getting a gigantic loan, you can do quite a bit out of your pocket if you just manage your home properly. And with the guidance from a proper contractor that's been in it a long time, you can get through it because they can, like we do, we actually offer a service to our customers. My wife has it in the shop, my guys have it in the truck. We have a long list of contractors we give out names and phone numbers to our customers on jobs where we're not qualified to do, such as roofers and plumbers and electricians. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to go into the yellow pages or go online and try to pick somebody out of the dark. They can actually come to us. If they like our work already and they trust us, we'll give them a contractor or two in that particular field so they don't have to go out and search for one.
And these potential referrals are tried and true, tested.
These are people that are
proven.
working for me. My plumber and electrician have been working with us or for me for the past 25 years. This is not somebody I just took on. So these are people that have been around a long time that I either knew from the HBA through the industry, or that I've actually had them work in my own home. I wouldn't give them anybody else that I wouldn't trust myself.
That's great. In my line of work, people often ask me for referrals, and it's kind of like a conflict of interest. I really shouldn't give referrals if it's ever found out that we had a cup of coffee together. It get me in trouble.
Well, I can, and
Yes.
and my job is to protect my customers, as far as I'm concerned. If I don't do that, if I can't do that particular job professionally, I'm going to get them somebody that I know that can do that job professionally that I don't have to worry about. And if they don't do that job for them properly and I get a feedback on that, then I have a talk with that individual.
Oh, yeah.
I've had that already. Or we have to get rid of them and find somebody else for another customer. So we're on top of that.
That's good ethics, and that's all about good business and.
Well, and it keeps food on
Mom
the
and pop.
table. Without that, you don't eat.
It's the mom and pop atmosphere that's pretty much gone by the wayside these days.
And the other thing I like about it, I can go out to eat, and I only work in Berks County. I can go out to eat, and I see my customers, and they might buy you a drink, or I buy them a drink, or we're out talking to each other, and not coming after me with a hatchet. I can be out there
That's
when
always good.
an individual and they're smiling and say, hey, next time you're out, take a look at this, or whatever, or that refer you to somebody else. That's the way it should be.
What is aging in place, and what do you do for aging in place?
Aging in place we call it certified aging in place. It's called CAPS to us. So with our name, once you get a designation by going to the school through NHB, your designation follows you like a doctor. So mine would be Kert Sloan, CGR, CAPS, CGP. So CAPS is the aging in place. And that's a 2 8-hour course for keeping people in their home. So they don't have to go to a plus 55 community, or they don't have to downsize. They can stay in their own home, maybe put a bathroom on the first level so they don't have to go to the second level. Bring their washer and dryer up to that particular level they live in. Dropping their sinks, raising their toilets, dropping their cabinets in the kitchen, making it, if someone's in a wheelchair, that they can get at their sink, they can get in their refrigerator, they can get to their dishwasher. And there's appliances you can do. You can raise the dishwasher so they don't have to lean over to get to it. Again, not having a vanity under the sink so they can roll a wheelchair underneath it. Having doors widen so they can get through with a wheelchair or a walker. Ramps, anything to get into the house easier.
And safety issues too. Trip hazards, railings. Are all part of that too, I'm sure.
Grab bars, zero clearance shower entrance where you're not lifting your feet. You can actually roll into, take a shower, maybe have a fold-up seat in it, or a permanent seat in the shower with grab bars, all of that. And we're doing quite a bit of that lately. And then if your home isn't too large and you want to stay in that home, it's not too hard to bring the washer and dryer up. A lot of homes have a bathroom in the first level, but some don't. They might just have a powder room. They want to put a shower in so they don't have to do the steps, that type of thing. So that's pretty much what that's about.
A lot of your older homes in this area have, a basement and first floor and living or sleeping quarters on the second floor. Excuse me. So having a basement would assist with making it a little bit more easier to move the appliances like that. And without having to move the second floor, you can even add a little bedroom on the first level if there's enough space.
Absolutely.
So that
we did one for a lady in Hamburg, and she had a 3-story home on 3rd Street in Hamburg, and we ended up putting a full bath in for her right aside of her kitchen, so she could not have to do the steps anymore. That was the only thing she needed to stay down. She already had the washer and dryer there.
So, besides this, you do a lot more than just aluminum work. You do sunrooms and
Actually, we do a lot. We don't do a lot of aluminum work, even though our name's Aluminum Associates. We get a lot of calls, and
aluminum is expensive these days, isn't it?
Everything's expensive. What we do in aluminum is aluminum awnings, aluminum gutters, and aluminum storm doors and windows, and that's about it. Some capping, but that's even vinyl coated aluminum. Siding is vinyl. Doors are steel or fiberglass, entry doors. Windows are vinyl that we do. There's all types. You can put wood windows in, fiberglass windows. We choose to do the vinyl.
Aluminum awnings you typically see on older people's homes, and that's become somewhat of a dying art, hasn't it?
Except for this year, since May 22nd of last
the hail
year.
damage, yes.
It's a big deal right now. That's primary business right now for us because we're one of the old guys that still do awnings and know the charts. And we're getting a ton of calls, even from the guys that do large roofing work and siding work. They don't know enough about the awnings. It's not their specialty, so we're getting their calls also. They're sending them
Referral
to
work
us.
is great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So how would a home buyer know that they're getting a quality contractor that's competent to do the work?
Do you want to talk a little? Go ahead.
Sure. Well, actually, what we really stress to our customers, especially our newer customers, is that we have a list of our customers that we've been doing business with for probably 30-some years. And they will volunteer to let that person come to their home, see our work. They will give the referral. They will tell them how we come back and, come for service, come back for repairs. Anytime they have a problem, they pick up the phone, and I'm the person they're calling. And then I will get our guys out there to take care of the problem. So I think the biggest thing is you really have to do your homework and research, and referrals are a big plus because that's the only way I think you're really going to know that that contractor is honest and doing things by the book.
And stands behind their work.
It stands behind their work. Calling your local HBA to find out if they're an HBA member. The other thing is making sure going online to see if they have the HIC numbers and are registered with the state as a licensed contractor. Because you have to have insurance, you have to be aware of all that. Also, ask for the insurance to make sure that your contractor has insurance, is insured. We will supply that. We have no problem with it. And if you're a legitimate contractor, you should have no problem with that.
And if you're talking to a customer and one of the things it needs is a little bit out of your skill set, you've got a qualified referral list
Absolutely.
to give to them.
Yep.
And then take that referral list and check it out.
Yes.
If the biggest mistake I think some customers make that aren't loyal to a specific contractor, and they're trying to find a new one because they don't know who to go with, do your homework. Yeah. Really do your homework. Go out, get those referrals, and go out.
Ask friends and neighbors.
I had a customer tell me one time why he went with me, and he went out and looked. He had 2 contractors he was thinking about going with. One was us, one was another. And he went out and watched both of us work on the job site. And that's how he determined which one he was going to go with, which was us at that point. But
that's because
that was
you
different.
But possibly because you were cleaner, more workmanlike, kept the job site.
And he had a business of his own, and he wanted someone to do work like he did. So, and he wanted that same. You got to have also. I'm not a fit for everyone, and neither is another contractor. No. So you got to be a fit for that type of person, whether it's personality, the way you work, or your cleanliness, or whatever it is. There's a fit for that, and that's what makes that marriage so much better, especially if you're going to be long-term with that individual.
Hopefully.
Yes.
So what is a green professional? We talked about aging in place. Let's move on again.
I'm probably better at assisting with that. A green professional is someone who is educated, a contractor who's educated in helping a homeowner who's interested in building or remodeling to better resource their home, better make it more efficient. You can supply with, I just drew a blank. I guess I'm not as good as I thought of bringing that.
Energy efficient air conditioning,
energy efficient,
and so
the Energy Star is what label that we would want to look for. in whether it's appliances, windows, other materials, different ways you're building things.
And
you're
HVAC,
using-
the SEER ratings have gone up considerably too.
Yes, yes.
So-
That, I'm not sure on that because that's not our profession.
Well, we got a new air
But-
conditioner, and we
Yeah,
had
it's-
the SEER ratings
Yeah.
changed.
13 or
Yeah.
15 we're up
Yes.
to
Yeah.
now? Yeah. Okay. So you offer quality workmanship, quality for materials that come with a warranty and or guarantee from the manufacturer.
Yes.
You stand behind your work. It's a good thing these days, and referrals and how would people get a hold of you? Wait a minute. Let's go back one more.
Well,
You're
let-
also involved with Restoring Hope,
Yes.
and Restoring Hope was a topic that we did here a month or so ago.
Okay.
What was your involvement with that?
I've been in it. I've been involved with it since the beginning. Dean Ramick, a past president of our Home Builders Association, was involved in the Extreme Home Makeover originally when we did it as a home builders group. In fact, as I remember, we were the first of an association to do it as an association, not as an individual contractor. It was his idea. I came in as an assistant to him at that point, and we wanted to do a remodeling project every year that we could afford and handle. We couldn't afford to do a big studio event
No.
like the Extreme Home Makeover. So that's what we're doing. So we get 20, 25 candidates. You can go further. You're involved with it just as much.
Yeah, well, I've been vice chair for the last 2 years. I'm vice chair again this year. And we get somewhere in the range of about 18 or so applicants. And the process takes some time. We actually go and we narrow it down by how they fill out their applications and if everything is complete. And then we go and visit several of the homes to pick out the applicant.
And the
and then it
application
narrows it
process
down.
is open now?
No, it's actually ended. It
Oh,
was
okay.
the end date was in March. We are actually in the process of reviewing them now, and we will be going and viewing some of the homes tomorrow evening.
Oh, great.
So after that, then we obviously narrow it down and finally eventually get to our candidate.
The coolest thing about it is doing the project with all the contractors from the county, and we're all working together as one. It's kind of like getting all the sports people together from all over, all the football teams together and playing together, and then the final part of it, because it's a teary-eyed thing at the end, you know,
Oh,
'cause
yes.
people come back and they see what you've done to their home, and it's cool. It's a
So
neat
this is about the time when, how would people contact you? Tell us about your website and your newsletter that you offer with potential savings coupons, or?
Yeah, we have a newsletter that goes out through Constant Contact. It's just through the email. And we just let them know what's happening throughout the county, what's new to products, things like that. Our website is aluminamassociatessloancorp.com. And we offer links to our manufacturers and products there. It also has the pictures. It has our links to all our associations that we're involved with, our certifications on our CGR, CAPS, and CGP, which was some of it was discussed earlier. Our
And of course your phone numbers, yeah.
phone number is 610-921-2201. And of course, I would be the one you would receive answering the phone. And if you get a message, please leave a message because I will return your call. That is one thing that's very important to us, returning calls, because I know in the past I've gotten customers that said, I called a contractor and they don't call me back. We
Okay.
will call you back.
That's very good to hear, and we appreciate your time. I hope everybody enjoyed the show this evening, and thank you for watching. Have a good night.